Regularly scheduled programming will not be seen at this time, so that we may bring you the following WVEC-TV special presentation. A Navy Christmas is brought to you without commercial interruption by Taco Bell and by Newport News Shipbuilding.
Hi, I'm John Martin. All of us at Taco Bell are proud of our co-sponsorship of this special program, A Navy Christmas. We're delighted to have been able to participate over the past 4 years in an effort to show our appreciation for the military's dedication to our country and its people. We hope this program will enable you to share the spirit and warmth of the holidays with friends and loved ones in the military service who are away from home this holiday season. On behalf of everyone at Taco Bell, happy holidays and best wishes for a peaceful new year.
Hello, I'm Jack Garrow from Newport News Shipbuilding. Newport News Shipbuilding is very happy to co-sponsor a Navy Christmas again this year. We believe that these annual WVEC productions are the best of television. They brighten the lives of many deployed sailors and their families, and they give the rest of us an idea of what it's like to be separated from loved ones at this time of year. The world is a more peaceful place this Christmas season, in large measure because of the dedication of Navy men and women around the world. But peace is purchased by vigilance, and vigilance is paid for with the sacrifices of Navy men and women and their families. Newport News Shipbuilding profoundly thanks them for this and many more things. And we all here wish you a very happy season and a safe new year.
For $1.
Your left, and it's nearly there.
Second 2 as he goes forward.
Un tourne-dos et une brochette. C'est ça qui va le faire.
Right, Miller, take him. Get as close as you can to the island. You'll plenty of room for that thing to stick.
From the Holy Land, Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Joe Flanagan.
And Shalom, I'm Laura Taylor. Thousands of sailors from Hampton Roads are spending this holiday in Mediterranean seaports like Marseille, Naples, and right here in Israel.
Fascinating places to visit, Laura, but you can bet they'd rather be home with their friends, families, and loved ones in Hampton Roads. You'll meet some of them throughout the next hour as we try and bring them a little bit closer together for the holidays. From the wives clubs in Hampton Roads that keep the home fires burning, to the USO in Haifa that goes out of its way to make a U.S. sailor feel welcomed in Israel.
You know, Joe, a lot of people consider this place, Jerusalem, a place of beginnings, and we begin our story of a deployment that started in Norfolk, October 11th. A pierside farewell can tear your heart out. Most families know it's harder to say goodbye here and opt for a quiet time at home. But some wives say they have to see the ship actually pull away to believe it will be 6 months, anniversaries, birthdays, and Christmas before their husbands return. Elizabeth Bailey and son Jonathan wave goodbye to David Bailey on the frigate Donald B. Beary. The young mother says the reality of a holiday deployment doesn't hit right away.
You have to wait about a month until you realize it's not just a regular little short deployment, and then it'll start to sink in.
You prepare yourself for it, but it's still devastating when when the ship's pulling away and they're getting smaller and smaller,
More than a month later and thousands of miles away, the deployment is well along for David Bailey and all the other sailors from Hampton Roads. Most of them agree the separation is far easier for the men and women at sea. Time seems to go faster here. In the routine of Navy life, the days just run together. Dean Snyder and Eddie Chapman, Marines on board the USS El Paso, will also be away from their young families this holiday. Chapman's been married just a year and a half and spent much of it deployed. He says he gets through it by keeping busy and thinking positively. But the separation is taking its toll on Snyder. He says it's hard to raise a family 10,000 miles away, and he's leaving the Marines.
Well, when I left, he was just walking. When I get back, he'll probably be walking, running, and talking, so I'm missing out on quite a bit.
You might think leaving your family for a life at sea would get easier over time. It doesn't. Veteran sailors say each deployment is harder than the one before, and the heartstrings that bind them to home seem to pull stronger each time they go to sea. For Hospital Corpsman Cantrell Montgomery, also on board the El Paso, thoughts of home and his wife and daughter in Virginia Beach are never far away, especially at Christmas time.
For me, the first day was the hardest as you watch the pier disappear. After that, the first couple of days is rough. Then it seems to get better, but after a while.
But it's the support from home that sailors say helps the most. Independent and strong wives who take care of life's little crises all by themselves, and the love that comes through Christmas cards and phone calls. For Dave Bailey, that strong devotion to family and to country keeps him going to sea.
It helps me to know that, I'm out here protecting a way of life that I want for my son, and I want for my wife, and I want for myself. I want my son to be able to choose his religion and choose what he wants to do as a profession. And I think about those things.
During the holidays, families like the Baileys are giving the rest of us the gift of freedom. And as we gather to celebrate with family and friends, they depend on memories and hope that maybe next year they'll be together.
David works for on a day-to-day basis. And even though I'm not out there at sea right now, I'm working for it in the sense that I'm spending my holidays without my husband. And it's a gift to everyone in the United States.
Hi, Beth and Jonathan. I just wanted to say I love you very much, and I wanted to thank you for being there for me while I'm out here in the Med. And I want you to know I'm always there for you in heart and in mind. Maybe not in body, but I love you very much. I'll be home soon. Take care and write lots of letters.
Bye, Dad. Bye-bye, Daddy. I miss you, Daddy.
Hey, Dad. I love you. I miss you. Christmas isn't the same without you. I hope you're having fun this Christmas. I'm thinking of you and love you very much. Love, Kirsten.
Dear Dad, Merry Christmas. I love you and miss you. Mom bought you a Christmas tree and will send it to you in the mail. I miss you, but I am proud of the job you do. Love, Jensen. I miss you, Daddy. I will hug you when you get home. Have a nice Christmas. Christmas, Daddy. I miss you. I hope you have a very nice Christmas. I love you, Daddy. Merry Christmas, Daddy.
Santa Claus has a heck of a time each year getting out to our sailors at sea. We caught up with him on board the USS Forrestal as he was trying to find his way to the ready room of Virginia Beach-based Squadron VAW 122. Have you ever tried to find a ready room on board a carrier? And the worst part is, Santa couldn't rely on Rudolph and the boys. They'd never fit.
Oh, wait. These darn ships? Where are the lights around this place? Goodness. Oh, ooh.
Name a sailor who's been on a Mediterranean deployment, and he's bound to have spent time in Marseille, France. Located on the French Riviera, Marseille is France's largest seaport and second largest city with a population of nearly 900,000. Grand structures like the Basilica of Notre Dame, built in the 14th century, dot the landscape and add a sense of history and culture to the area. Of late, its reputation has been improving, especially around the downtown waterfront, a far cry from the image portrayed in movies like The French Connection. All in all, not a bad port come Liberty time.
Anytime a U.S. Navy ship pulls in a port, you can bet it's time for a little R&R. And that means it's time for the S&P to do their thing, the Shore Patrol.
If you see anybody by themselves, they know the rules, supposed to be with somebody, put them with somebody, or on the bus, or back here.
In Marseille, the Shore Patrol meets at the police headquarters and gets daily assignments before taking to the streets. 22-year-old Edgar Allan Fetters is a graduate of Kellam High School in Virginia Beach. And with his partner Howard Lee, he'll cover 5 to 10 miles a day, wandering the districts where Marines and sailors like to shop and eat and occasionally blow off some steam. It is a heck of a way to spend the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, this isn't my first time away from Christmas. It is kind of hard because you wish you were with your family. And like everybody else would like to be with their family, but we get along. We're one little family here on the ship, so.
Shore Patrol does have its moments, like window shopping or knowing where the best pizza is. Now, I just happen to be in the neighborhood, so I sampled a slice.
French pizza or Italian pizza?
This is French.
Number 10, International.
First days in ports are the busiest. 60 shore patrolmen were on duty when the Marine Amphibious Ready Group pulled into Marseille. This day, it was down to 20.
We're out here to help the Marines and sailors find their way around and make sure they stay out of trouble and, break up fights. Just watch over them. We're not here to harass them or anything. We're here to help them out.
They keep a lot of guys out of trouble. I've seen a lot of guys that were really too intoxicated to be about on the streets, taken back to the ship. If they don't cause the shore patrols any trouble, then they really don't get anything except a free ride back to the boat.
They do their jobs during the holidays because that's why they're here, but they do miss family and friends back home.
I'd like to wish a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to Mom, Dad, my sisters, Gina and Lisa, my grandparents, to Tricia, and to Chris, my buddy back home.
There's très beaucoup to do when Liberty is called in Marseille, France. But sailors who stop here better have a pocket full of francs if they want to buy some French fashions for their wives and girlfriends, or stop for a very expensive cup of espresso at a sidewalk cafe. Dave Miller and his buddies from the USS Iwo Jima venture into the city with a different plan for their time off. They'll spend their Liberty looking for a laundromat.
Good morning. The laundromat?
No parlez anglais? No.
straight on and you turn on your left. Yeah? And it's not very far.
Okay. Merci.
Yeah, all right.
While Dave and company wander Marseille looking for washing machines, a group of sailors from the USS El Paso set off to see the city on 2 wheels. Whether you're shopping or touring, everybody deserves a break, and just like any other big city in the United States, Marseille has some unusual street vendors. But instead of hot dogs and pretzels, the rage in Marseille is smash sandwiches. Hamburger and fries inside French bread.
Squash sandwich, huh? What'd you put on it?
Fries.
I think.
After getting a thorough tour of Marseille the hard way, the trio from the Iwo finally find their laundromat, while fellow crewman George Uphold spends his time on some serious shopping for his wife and 8-year-old son in Norfolk.
Well, I'm going in here. I'm going in here and purchase one.
Are you?
But I don't know which one.
At Revelation Toy Store, Uphold finds the toy Ferrari for his son Tobias. The present and all his love will be home in Norfolk Christmas morning.
If he likes it. If he thinks about me while I'm out here. Because I will be thinking about him.
Miss you, Daddy. Merry Christmas, Daddy. Hi, Daddy. I miss you very much. How are you doing? I sure wish you were home for Christmas. It wouldn't be the same without you. The best Christmas present I think will be nice is Santa bringing you home for Christmas. Love, Aaron. Dear Daddy, I miss you very much. I wish you could be home for Christmas. We are all having fun, but it would be funner if you were home. I got an A in spelling. Happy Christmas. Love, Kelly.
Hi, Hen. We all hope you're not too lonely out there. The kids are doing great, considering Dad's away for the holidays. Of course, every day is a holiday when you're home. Christmas won't be the same without you, but we'll hold our own Christmas when you come home. Take good care of yourself and have a Merry Christmas if you can. All my love always, Beth.
Merry Christmas, Daddy. We'll miss you, Daddy.
From HSL 34 Det 4 aboard USS Donald B. Beary.
Have a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year!
From the gunner's mates of the USS Portland to all our loved ones in the Hampton Roads area, have a bang-up Christmas and an explosive New Year. Happy Holidays!
Happy holidays, Hampton Roads. I'm RM1 Seegers with Amphibious Squadron 6. I'd just like to say hello to my wife, Vicky, and my 2 sons, Tony and Jerome. I love you, I miss you, and I'll see you soon.
Happy Holidays from Portland State Department!
Merry Christmas!
I'm Mike Walter from the USS Iwo Jima. I'd like to wish my wife Diane and my children Jennifer, Christopher, and Michael a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I miss you and I love you.
To all of you back in Hampton Roads, the officers and men aboard the USS Capodanno and the outlaws of HSL 32 Det 2, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holidays, Hampton Roads. My name is Brian McDonald. I'm the Command Master Chief on the USS Iwo Jima. I'd like to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to my wife Louise and my children Brenda, Melissa, Joanne, Sarah, and Andrew.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. From the communications gang on board the USS Portland, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Headquarters, flight quarters. All personnel, man your flight quarters stations.
Hogs and frogs, snakes and gators. That's what they launched from the deck of the Iwo Jima. And the one man in charge of keeping those critters organized and airborne is the air boss.
We will move 5 and 6 aircraft at a time with tow tractors, and that deck is not really that big down there. And to respot the deck and launch another wave of aircraft in 30 minutes is a challenge.
Hogs are the huge CH-53 Sea Stallions. Frogs, the CH-46s. Snakes are the AH-1 Cobras, while the Gator is the UH-1 Huey, the Iwo's own helicopter, which launches early during flight ops, equipped with a swimmer if any rescue work is needed.
Left seat for spot 5.
The air boss is the air traffic controller. In the tower with him is the mini boss, training to be an air boss, the tower operator who maintains flight schedules and records, and the squadron reps, making sure aircraft and pilots are launching in sync.
Air boss? Yeah, go ahead and stand it.
Commander Ed Sascio of Virginia Beach is well aware of the team concept as he sits in the hot seat of the air boss.
There are a lot of people that put a schedule together to make things happen. You've got a couple staffs on board, the Marine staff and the Fibron staff, and they work together along with the squadron and ship operations to write a schedule. And you try and make that thing work, and there are a lot of things that go into it. And when it doesn't work, that's frustrating. But I guess that's part of the challenge, really.
Breakdown spot 2.
On deck, Ed talks with everyone from maintenance and medical to crash and salvage. It is a 7-day-a-week job at sea with 14-hour days the norm.
Working with the department as a whole, I've got 100 men that work for me in the hangar bay and on the flight deck and the fuels. And they're a bunch of really good, hard-working men that will break their back for you. And that's fun. It's a minimum paperwork and a lot of operational sort of stuff, and that's what's fun.
Launch spot 7.
Now, believe it or not, things will wind down out here for Christmas. Ed will find himself in Naples, Italy, wishing he were in Virginia Beach with his wife and children.
I wish my 2 kids, Steve and Lynn, the happiest of holidays, and all my love to Joyce. I hope we have many, many happy Christmases, and I miss you all.
Meanwhile, back on board the Forrestal, the E-2 Sea Squadron was in real jeopardy of not getting anything from Santa Claus. After a while, the 05 level was looking a lot like the 01 level, and the 02 level was looking a lot like the 04 level. See what Santa goes through for our guys?
What air ops are to pilots, a well-deck operation is to a gator. This is one of the most dangerous evolutions in the Navy. The sea rushes into the USS Portland's well deck. Soon, huge waves are crashing along the sides. and the sailors must work quickly to move the boats and amphibious vehicles into the safety of the sea.
Again. All right, you're flanking left, all right.
But there's no fear leaving the mothership for the men on board the landing craft utility from Assault Craft Unit 2 out of Little Creek. The LCU and its crew are designed to be out on their own.
LT, I got permission. We're going to come around this port side, 500, 600 yards, we're going to cross this bow.
The boss here, the craft master, is Senior Chief Mike Moscatelli. He has sole command of this vessel. It's one of the most responsible jobs an enlisted man can hold.
Like the captains on board the ship, they got their own ship. I got mine out here, and it's a rewarding tour.
Not only does the Senior Chief have sole command here, but the LCU and her crew can operate independently for up to 30 days if they have to. You see, the 10-man crew eats, sleeps, and works right on board, even when the LCU is nestled in the well deck. It can make for some tight quarters, and getting along with your neighbor takes a little bit of extra work.
When we're out, sometimes, as people would say, we get on each other's nerves because of the cramped compartments, and it passes.
But the crew is also quick to talk about the good things about life on an LCU. They've got their own washer and dryer. There's no waiting in long lines for services and chow. And speaking of chow, it's pretty good down under.
Come on in, man. Three amigos.
The crew of the LCU needs a strong constitution. It's hard work out here, and the boat takes a beating in rough seas. But at 135 feet long and weighing 200 tons empty, the LCU can hold its own. Not to mention the dozens of Marines and amphibious vehicles it can carry ashore.
You guys hang on. And to be ready, okay?
The only thing more difficult than getting out of a well deck is getting back in.
Med deck, get on the front of that line there. Get Doherty out of there. Cool. Flank left. All stop.
For the last boat in, it's a tight squeeze. But even in this hectic, stress-filled environment, there are signs of the season, like the flags on the USS Saginaw spelling out Merry Christmas and lots of good wishes for the folks back home.
Thanks to you too. Happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
Bye-bye, Daddy. Bye-bye, Daddy. I love you, Daddy. I hope you are home soon. Ho, ho, ho. Are you having a nice Christmas? Have you gotten any snow yet? How are you doing? I wish you were home. P.S. Love, Beverly. How are you doing, Daddy? I'm fine. Are you having a nice Christmas? Do you have up your tree yet? We have ours up. Mom is fine. The rest of the family is okay too. Mom got me some new clothes. Has anything happened to you exciting so far? Things have been pretty boring around here. Your son, John. P.S. Please respond as soon as possible. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. I missed you, Daddy. Merry Christmas, Daddy.
Hey, Vern, happy holidays from the Portland. Know what I mean?
Happy holidays from Amphibious Squadron 6.
I'm Pedal Supremo from the Iwo Jima, and I'd like to wish my wife, Margarine, my two sons, Travis and Brandon, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I love you.
From the wardroom of the USS Donald B. Beary.
Have a very Merry Christmas.
I'm Senior Chief Pogue, the Command Senior Chief of Amphibious Squadron 6. Wish to greet everyone back in Norfolk with a Merry Christmas, particularly to my wife and to the members of the Virginia Beach Amateur Radio Club.
From the El Paso Engineers, happy holidays!
My name is BT-1 Guiney. I'm on USS Portland. I'd like to say Merry Christmas to my wife Donna and my sons Tom and Dave.
From the Portland admin, happy holidays!
I'm Willie Walden from USS Iwo Jima. AIMD, on which my wife Gail, my kids Heather, Tony, Jackie, and Adrian a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I love you all.
From the quarterdeck of the Saginaw, we wish you a Merry Christmas. From the cooks of Iwo Jima, Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads.
It's HMC Ryan on the USS Saginaw in Marseille, France. I'd like to say Merry Christmas to my wife Abby. I love you and miss you very much. Merry Christmas to my sons Stephen and Chris, and season's greetings to all my neighbors and friends in Great Bridge.
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year! Season's greetings! Thanks, great! Let's do it!
The USS Portland Officer Choral Ensemble Group would like to sing you a medley of our Christmas hits.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Merry Christmas!
Have you ever reached a point in your career where you wanted to move in a totally different direction? Dr. Robert Arnold did just that. At age 51, this successful general practitioner gave up his thriving private practice and set sail for new horizons in the U.S. Navy.
Our youngest daughter had graduated from high school and was going off to college. The government was getting more involved in medicine. The DRGs were coming in. There was more paperwork, and it looked like there was less and less fun in the civilian sector. And maybe it was a midlife crisis, I don't know, but it all put together. Suffice it to say, I joined the Navy.
Dr. Arnold spent 6 years at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, before moving to Portsmouth this year to join the Fleet Surgical Team 4 in his first ever 6-month deployment. At age 57, it is quite an adjustment.
Well, it's more of an adjustment on the woman than it is on the man, undoubtedly, because they get uprooted and moved to a different place. And she doesn't have the work like I do to take your mind off everything. She has to make a whole new life. And there is an adjustment that's necessary, but my wife Betty did it very well, and she's a real Navy wife now.
When the Navy has a real need for someone, they bring them aboard as a commander and, as in the case of Captain Arnold, quickly move them along. It is a job he really loves, and it allows the Navy to professionally perform surgery at sea.
The driving force, I guess, is the appreciation of the people that you're working with. And I think that's genuine. They make it plain that they are glad you're here. The frustrations are the paperwork, the administrative frustrations that we have to go through with. A lot of times not knowing what's going to happen next. These are the frustrations, are mostly administrative.
Even though older sailors may have grown children and a certain maturity dealing with emotional separations, once the Christmas holidays roll around, they express the same feelings as their 18, 19, and 20-year-old colleagues.
Well, I'm going to feel homesick. I don't guess there's any way to avoid that. We're going to be in Naples, and I expect I'll be on the ship for Christmas here. And I'm going to try to make a phone call home, and I'll miss her, but that's nothing much I can do. She will be at our house in Kentucky with one of our daughters and her husband and our 3 grandchildren, so they'll be having a big Christmas, I know.
It's Slider Day on the USS El Paso.
It's not like Burger King either, right?
Navy burgers are fondly called sliders, have been ever since anyone can remember. Maybe it's because they slide all over the grill in rough seas.
So they're real greasy and they slide right on down your throat real easily.
Fixing a slider is a real personal thing. Some go for just the essentials on their burger. Other sailors opt for the works.
Spread your mayonnaise on.
Put some mayonnaise and mustard on it.
And now put my onions on. Then you take your tomato and slap it on there like that.
Just put it right on the hamburger like this.
Put your lettuce on there. Put your pepper on there.
Just with ketchup.
And then a little bit of salt.
I'm a very picky eater.
Then you take your sliders and grab them like this or else they will slide. Put them on there.
So my mom says.
And just to top it off,
rub it around so it spreads the mayonnaise and mustard around.
Ketchup will do.
You grab your bun, and then you smash it.
Perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
How is it? Slider is just one of many nicknames for Navy food. Next time you head to Chow to get some groceries, translated, have a Navy meal, you might find rollers are on the menu, an appropriate name for hot dogs. And the vanilla pudding on the Iwo Jima does sort of look like what it's called, wallpaper paste.
It's so thick, I don't know, you can probably use anything for it.
Coffee is a staple of many hearty Navy diets. Some sailors consume 8 to 10 cups of gear oil or mud each day. But the all-around favorite liquid refreshment is a sweet Kool-Aid concoction called bug juice. We didn't want to find out why it's called that. A trip to any mess hall or wardroom will also turn up yardbird or chicken, ghee dunk, that's chips or junk food, trail markers, Salisbury steak, and maybe some fat bombs or donuts for dessert. So next time you head on out to a fancy restaurant for a pleasant meal, why not think about the thousands of sailors at sea who are slipping down to the mess decks to get some gut grenades to bloat their bellies.
It's good. One bite.
If you're in the Liberty section, you got Liberty. If you're in the duty section, time out.
No wonder they call it the Ready Room. By the time Santa arrived, the Steeljaws were ready for their goodies.
What I brought, guys, are some gifts from the wives.
There were toys to unwrap, like this model of the plane these guys fly, drinking mugs for those intimate moments in the hot tub, and special gifts for new daddies.
It's a doodle. That must be from my son. Oh, he's 5 months now.
5 months, congratulations.
And a book from Mom. Thank you, Wendy, and thank you, John.
Speaking of new daddies, Paul Shanklin's first child, Nick, was just born December 1st.
Mr. New Dad.
Thanks and Merry Christmas. Feel the consternation. Merry Christmas. I miss you. And I love you, Nick and Cindy. Thanks again.
Ah, the perils of fatherhood.
Okay, Lieutenant Justine Smith. Where's Lieutenant Smith? There he is. Come on down. Come on down. Oh.
How thoughtful. A new calendar from wife Cammy.
Yeah, well, I've been waiting and hoping this for all of my 17 and a half years, and when my voice changes after I'm done with this, I'll be very grateful. Thank you.
Underwear seemed to be a popular item this year, both the kind a guy wears and the kind a guy reads about.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Rudy Costanzo's wife left room for the imagination in lieu of underwear, while little Stevie Bucknam's wife left no room for the imagination.
Judy, she's thinking of me again. Glamour girls.
I'll take care of that.
Thanks, Santa. Oh, and a new toothbrush, because she used mine to clean the sink. And then
Put the gummy bears in your pocket and make them nice and soft.
You shake it. You feel that face shake.
A lollipop, I think. More candy. And one of them things that drives you nuts trying to figure out what the
Yes, there were Tommy Wee waterfall gifts.
What is this thing?
Toilet target games, and innovative toilet paper holders.
Toilet paper in
Thanks, Veronica. And I got your birthday card, although blowing in your ear wasn't exactly what I had in mind. Thanks. Merry Christmas.
All designed to bring a little spirit of Hampton Roads to the men away from home at Christmas time.
Oh, look at this. Santa's my birthday today. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear sister. Your happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love you, Mom. See you at Christmas time.
So before Santa said goodbye, the Steeljaws asked that he sit down and wish a quick Merry Christmas to the folks back home.
Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads from the Steeljaws!
It's $1.
A port stop in Haifa, Israel is a favorite among Sixth Fleet sailors. More than just an opportunity to relax, it's a chance to see history alive all around you. Haifa itself is built at the foot of Mount Carmel and is the largest port in the country. But venture just an hour or two, like we did with the sailors from the Donald B. Beary, and you'll find the center of the world. Old Jerusalem, its streets echo with the history of 5,000 years, the place where faith was born, a place where so many religions share their roots. During this holiest of seasons, the timing for the sailors on the Beary was right on target.
As I mentioned here, that this is the place where Jesus spent the last night.
In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus prayed and was arrested on the last night of his life. In the Old City, we found the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Many Christians believe Christ was crucified, died, was buried, and resurrected here, a shared center of faith for many religions. And the Dome of the Rock, sitting high above the city, is a holy place for Muslims, Jews, and Christians. Beneath it, the western wall is all that remains of the ancient Jewish temple, where the flames of faith keep burning.
And we started going down. Discovered what remains of the ancient house, and as you can see,
The City of David, a place where residents like Theo and Miriam Siebenberg have unearthed history, an ancient home under their new home. A city where past and present live side by side, but where there are constant reminders to the sailors on the Beary of the tension and the conflict that have existed here for years.
Shalom.
But the Beary sailors and all the thousands of other sailors from Hampton Roads who visit here each year are in extremely good hands. Meet the mother of the Sixth Fleet, Gila Gerson. She's the first thing the sailors see when they arrive in Haifa, and more than likely the last thing they see when they leave. She, an assistant, and a host of giving volunteers run the USO here, a home away from home, and a mecca of love. Here sailors find, most importantly, phones so they can call home, but also willing ears to listen to the stories about children and family in Hampton Roads. And they also find Christmas.
I can't imagine coming into this port without the USO because of the service they do provide and the fact that the troops feel as if they have a friend here they can turn to and ask questions, get a tour, make a phone call, and feel like there's a little piece of the United States here.
And they giving their time, their private life to their countries. I mean, you must appreciate that.
At the Ahava orphanage outside Haifa, the Beary sailors are welcomed to a Sabbath dinner with a song of peace. The dinner, the music, the singing, and the dancing brought many of the sailors closer to their own children, at home without Dad at Christmas, and made everybody feel this was no ordinary port visit.
We're pretty well set when we get here. Thanks to the USO, they've done a lot for us. They treat us like, like we're VIPs, we're celebrities, and for a 25-year-old from Georgia, it's something to me.
To Gila, these are VIPs. She's currently lobbying the U.S. to pay for the sailors to call home for free, and she's always planning to make a visit special. She says she's returning a kindness given to her when she brought a sick child to the States. But the caring works both ways. The sailors petitioned to keep the USO open when funding threatened its demise. Still, Gila says she's frustrated she can't take care of all the 80,000 sailors who visit each year and help make their holidays away from home just a little easier.
To go out of the way, I don't think we're doing enough. I feel like we should do more.
The sailors from the Donald B. Beary will tell you the Haifa USO is doing more than enough.
The bottom line, it's love.
And the angel of the Lord suddenly stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were terribly frightened. And the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good news of a great joy, which shall be for all the people. For today, in the city of David, there has been a Savior, born for you, who is Christ the Lord."
They are the symbols of the season: faith and hope, peace on earth, goodwill toward men. And they are also the very real ways Navy families find strength when they are separated, no matter what time of year.
Each of us in our own individualized way believing in God, and that helps us.
Ann Costanzo is treasurer of the Officers' Wives Club of VAW 122, a tight-knit group, especially during a deployment. Watching a video of their husbands is one way they gather together to lean on each other for fun and fellowship. Faith and hope, peace on earth, goodwill toward men are shared here.
Yeah, we rely on all of it. We have faith within ourselves that we can handle the job, faith in our husbands that they know what they're doing and that they can concentrate just on that job out there, not worry about us back here because we can do it.
Religious faith has always urged us to take up our cross and believe, no matter how burdensome. A sailor's faith in his family must also be based on believing.
It's the belief in each other, the love you have for each other, the support that you receive from home, and the support that you provide them.
Contact with loved ones is the link to a man's very identity at sea. And in those quiet, solitary moments when a sailor reads a letter or listens to a daughter's cassette recording, dreaming of home renews his spirits, renews his hope.
For Sean O'Rourke to hear this, she wanted him to know that she loved him.
You close your eyes and look back and think of her. Think of what you're missing. And then look forward to the day you'll be with her. And think of everything you want to do with her. Not only with her, but with the son and the wife, and to be one as a family.
O ye of little faith, listen to the women behind the scenes. Listen to the ones who bear the burdens on the home front. Listen to the sounds of the season.
Well, first of all, I have to have total and absolute faith in my husband, in his ability to do his job correctly. My husband's a pilot, so I have to believe that every time he goes up in that plane, he's going to bring it down safely. And I believe that. I don't allow myself to doubt that. If I did, then it would be a very long cruise. I have to believe my husband's the best pilot out there, and I do believe that.
It doesn't affect just myself as a family. It really, in actuality, affects every family in America. And through that, that's what helps me get through it. And I have faith in America, and faith in what my husband is doing, and faith that if he wasn't up there and he didn't have to be away in times like this and make small sacrifices, we wouldn't have a Christmas to celebrate as a country.
For because of our faith, He has brought us into this place of highest privilege where we now stand. And we confidently and joyfully look forward to actually becoming all that God has had in mind for us to be.
I miss you, Daddy.
Greetings from the Med. Hello, Nina. The cruise is moving along, and with the holiday season now here, things have begun to move along even faster. I wish I was there to help you with the preparations of decorating the house and getting all the surprises that Santa will be delivering. I know the kids are eager to find out what will be under the Christmas tree for them on Christmas Day. I'm sure that Santa, although many miles away, will deliver all wishes and even have a special gift under the tree for you. Having you as my wife is something that I will always cherish, and me not being there physically won't keep my mind and heart from being at home with you and the kids on Christmas Day. I'll call at 9 a.m. Christmas and talk to all to see what Santa has delivered. Have a Merry Christmas, and may we all have the best of New Year's. Love, Brian. Merry Christmas, Justin. Merry Christmas, Jordan. Merry Christmas, Jennifer. Merry Christmas, Jarrell. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and Daddy will be home soon.
Merry Christmas, Brian. I hope to see you soon.
I love you all, kids. Take care, and keep an eye on Mother until Dad returns. Love always.
Sailors from Marine Service Support Group 24, Merry
Christmas and Happy New Year! Hoorah! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads from the USS Saginaw! Merry Christmas from Fleet Surgical Team 4!
Hi, this is BM3 Robert Anthony from the USS Iwo Jima Deck Department. I'd just like to wish my wife Brenda, my little girl Chelsea, a Merry Christmas. And I hope you're not too lonely without me.
From somewhere in the Med on the USS El Paso. From the Assault Boat Division, where the gator gets its bite.
Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads!
This is Lance Corporal Bonaducci from USS Saginaw over in Marseille, France. I'd like to wish my parents and my girl back home a very Merry Christmas. And I'll be back soon.
This place where Laura and I are standing is located right across from Mount Olive, one of the more historic stops here in Jerusalem. Laura, we've made a lot of stops on this trip. What are some of your fond memories?
Think about that rocky ride we got on the Portland's LCU, the children at the orphanage outside Haifa, and the good time the sailors had there. Even a better time than the kids had, I think. But I think I'll remember what Dave Bailey off the Donald B. Beary told us about sacrifice. He's away from his family, he said, because he wants to protect freedom for his son.
It really was the people, places, and things, and the personalities of the sailors. For me, on board the Forrestal, Rudy Costanzo really summed up separation better than I ever heard it put when he talked about compartmentalizing. As long as family and the sensitive issues are over here, and business and professionalism over here, makes it easier to deal with.
believe there are a lot of families who are together in spirit now, though.
Absolutely. Well, as we wind down, we wish to you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And thank you for watching.
Merry Christmas from Newport News Shipbuilding to all the sailors away from home this holidays, and a Happy New Year.
Hi, I'm Janelle Roderick.
Hi, I'm Beverly Perlman.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Newport News Shipbuilding.
Merry
Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas to all the sailors at sea from Newport News Shipbuilding.
We'd like to wish all you men and women in the armed services a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's from the Newport News Shipbuilding team. If you notice, we're on the team too, and we'd like you to be with you and your family. If you can make it home, we're glad to have you back. Thank you to everybody here and abroad.
We hope the past hour has helped to brighten your holidays and bridge the miles separating loved ones. So, on behalf of all of us at Taco Bell, I wish you and your families a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season.
Virginia Beach and Portsmouth Taco Bell employees salute you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. From all of us at Taco Bell in Chesapeake, Norfolk, and Hampton, Merry Christmas! Newport News, Williamsburg, and Suffolk wish you a safe and happy holiday.
And from everyone at Taco Bell throughout Hampton Roads, Happy Holidays!
Oops, there it goes. Patter pop overboard. Patter pop overboard.
Yeah, film that. I went in to get a high and tight.
I'll give you a shout when I'm ready. I'll say 1, 2, 3, go, okay? Okay. Go!
From Saginaw's Deck Department, Happy New Year's. From the Saginaw. From the quarterdeck of the Saginaw.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, stand by.
Okay.
President. 1, 2, 3, go! I'll knock on the window, and you count to 5, and then do it. Okay. You let me knock on there.
Hi, I'm Mess Management Specialist, second class, Frank Alfano.
Okay, start
Do it again? Screwing up my shot, man. We gotta take 2.
2, 3, go! How about doing it with a smile? One more time. You ready?
Yes.
All right.
That'll do it. See you next time.